Hi everyone, this is Benedict. Thank you for rejoining me on my campaign through Master Ninja difficulty mode for Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1. We are on chapter 16 of 18, so we only have 2 more chapters after this, but don't assume that we don't have much to do, because we have a considerable amount of things to do left in this game. Some bats decide to fly in here, and there is up ahead, after you interact with the corpse up here, after these bats, there's a Fiend challenge with Hornets, and I decided to put everything in fast forward, because it's actually a really boring trial, but all I do essentially is stand outside the area, this little room where they all congregate, and just kill them all with the splash damage of this weapon that I have currently equipped, the Dabalacro. And I apologize if you guys wanted to see it in real time, but anything this tedious, I am really tempted to just speed it all up. You notice that where it says kills, it's the screen has the kill count there. That's simply because I didn't save it and then restart or die or anything and then come back. I think I mentioned this in Chapter 3. When you enter a challenge arena, it always has the kill count up. And then if you ever go into the arena and then leave the arena and save it and come back to it, it never has the kill count up again. So it's a really annoying thing that happens in some of these trials. Actually, in every single trial here. So, in case this is all too fast for you to see, all I'm doing is standing outside the door. The threshold where the door would be, the little entrance there behind the line. And these Hornets, sometimes they will like jab at you across the line, but all you need to do is stand outside the line and kill these guys. The art of the Inazuma is really good to dispatch all these guys, and normally you get so many Nimpo drops from these guys that you can keep getting your Art of the Inazuma back, so that's kind of what I did right there at the end. I also did the Garbage Bug Fiend Challenge because we once you get out of this area, we're going to be emerging in the Aqueduct stage, so we're backtracking a bit. And in the Aqueduct stage, I think I mentioned that you should probably never clear that challenge with the garbage bugs, but at this point in the game, I think it would be okay to do so, unless you want to save that area for a money grinding area. But there is an even better one that I know of, and I just don't like the garbage bugs. I don't like how they grab you and you just can't get out of it. And a lot of the times you're just trying to heal yourself when all of them are jumping on you. And I know an even better one, like I said, outside of Han's Bar, which I'll be showing you when we get over there again, dealing with some of these brutes. So that is the reward for clearing the challenge, the Jewel of the Demon Seal. If you haven't been paying attention, or if you've overlooked what I've been doing some of the times with these the Jewels of the Demon Seal, I have applied 2 of them to the Art of the Inferno, and another 2 of them to the Art of the Inazuma. So that is the 5th one we've acquired. There's going to be 1 more. You don't apply any Jewels of the Demon Seal to the Art of the Fire Wheels. It's just one of those Nimpos that doesn't have any slots for it. So they do allow you to apply, they do allow you to upgrade all of the Nimpos, but you do have to, like for instance right there, you do have to kind of go out of your way sometimes to get the Jewels of the Demon Seal, because they're not like one of your average item pickups. So we have been in this area before. This is, I believe this is where the red tablet of the stream was before, and so the first time I ever played this game, I really got lost, and I'm like, where am I supposed to go? I've already been to this area. Am I going the wrong way? But there's really no wrong way to go. The only little fork in the road is after the cutscene, where you can kind of take a left instead of going straight to where the worm boss battle was. But I'm pretty sure that they kind of steer you towards where you're supposed to go over here. So equip this weapon here, and what happened here is that I was trying to slay these ghost fish, but I got too close to the body, and normally this shit doesn't happen. This is an irony, because sometimes when you're trying to go in a door when you're fighting enemies, it never goes in the door for you. You're trying to escape enemies by going into a door, and you're trying to press the square button, and it never recognizes the fact that you're trying to press the square button. But of course, in an instance like this, it does nothing but interact with the environment. So that kind of shit you really got to get pissed about. But so I'm heading back over to after I kill this last ghost fish who was sticking around. There is going to be one more area over here, I think, with ghost fish. Let's see, where are we? We're not quite there yet, but so some more pincer fiends are going to be over here, and if you start your charge a little bit more, actually, yeah, I got to charge in. So we just have these guys who are optional, by the way. You don't have to kill these guys, but I want to restate what I said before. When I was playing Chapter 3, I mentioned that. No, what am I talking about? Chapter 12, the Aqueduct. I said that you probably shouldn't ever clear those garbage bug, that fiend trial, but I just decided to do it, not because I wanted to make my guide any more thorough or complete as it already is, and I guess completing that trial would make it more complete, but I just decided to do it because I really don't like coming down here and dealing with those enemies. There's actually, I'm going to show you a better way and a faster way to get more money. So just take your pick, and I probably will be getting the Master Ninja ranking for doing all this stuff, all these trials. But there are some garbage bugs over here, and if you're kind of laughing over me calling them garbage bugs, it's because that's the name I recall from the bestiary in the Ninja Gaiden Sigma guidebook that I bought for this game, which I would recommend if you're kind of interested in learning some of the names for the enemies, but it's not that thorough. The Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 book, the Prima official game guide, is a lot better, more detailed, has a fuller bestiary than does this game here. And actually, I bought those guides for this game, but actually I had no more need for them, so I donated them to another channel, wikigameguides.com. And I'm not promoting their site or anything. I don't even know those guys. They're in another state. But I donated those guides to them, as well as an assortment of liquors over to them. It was kind of a joke, but I'll put an annotation in there if anyone's interested. So I donated the 2 books that I bought over to those guys. Anyway, so a guide like that, what I was trying to say is, a guide like that is not going to tell you how to beat Master Ninja difficulty mode. The only reason I actually bought those books was to see the bestiary. But anyway, so these ghost fish, as I mentioned before in Chapter 12, they don't bite you as you're wall jumping off of the 2 walls here. But it is a good opportunity to get all your money back in some more Nympho and Essence and Restorative Essence. So we're heading on back to the area outside the Hall of Balance now, where the save point is. So definitely save it. After doing all those events, so we're going to do the trial with the garbage bugs. And again, it's optional. You don't have to do it. But I decided just what the hell, just get it over with. Just clear the trial. So I left it in real time, and the reason why I fast forwarded the first trial and then left this one in real time is simply because the first one was a lot more tedious and it was taking up too much time, and this one all I did was chain essence attacks. So there are 3 of these pincer fiends outside the Hall of Balance here, just like there were when we first came to this area. Another reason that I just kind of don't like coming down to this area and grinding for money is because you always have to bypass those huge green, those horrifying fiends that shoot the laser out of their eyes or whatever, and they're really problematic. And so this is the Fiend challenge, and I would have the kill count up as I did in the previous trial. But the issue, as you probably deduce from what I said, is that I've already been into this room. I left it, and I came back to it, and now the kill counter won't come up. So if I were to press the L2 button, all I would see is the karma meter, and that is not that's no indication of the trial. So they really need to fix that if they ever fixed it. I mean if they ever decided to reissue this game. I am aware of the PS Vita version, or it's called Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus or something like that along those lines. So this game does exist on a handheld console, but I never find much enjoyment in those. When I play a game, I just like to play on my on an actual console. Well, I guess the PS Vita would be a console. It is a console itself, but I don't like handheld devices too much. So the reward for doing this is a Talisman of Rebirth. So in that sense, it's good. I mean that's a good item, $25,000 item. But it would be nice if they gave you a Lives with 1,000 Gods or something for this, because I don't know, it just seems odd. And this right here, this is the reason I don't like fighting these guys. If one of them grabs you, normally you can get off pretty quickly without getting damaged too much. But if 2 or 3 of them jump on you, it just prepare to die, because what ends up happening is that you're gonna have to use 5 healing items to refill your health all the way, or 1 of the higher potions, which cost $15,000. So in an instance like that, you're kind of negating this whole process of making money. So it works against you. That issue doesn't exist in Hans Bar, so I am going to be pointing out the better way to make money. So we're almost done with this trial. There's a lot of these garbage bugs, namely, the kill count's 120, just like it always is for these Fiend Challenge on Master Ninja mode. On normal, the kill count, you have to kill 60. On hard, it's 80. On very hard, it's 100. And then on Master Ninja mode, it's 120. And all these enemies scale to whatever difficulty you're playing. So just get this treasure chest. And here's the reward, the Talisman of Rebirth, and then just head on back to the save point, and then we're going to be leaving this area, this sewer area, and progressing further on into this chapter. So hit the save point, and then we are going to backtrack over here. So there are quite a few things to do on this stage, one of which is to backtrack to Tyron and progress on to the rest of this chapter. But I am going to be so the next task I'm going to be doing is showing you the prime opportunity to grind for money. But we are going to have to do a little backtracking first. And these rooms are tough, very tough. Don't hesitate to use Nimpo over here, because the area where I'm going to be taking you to next is going to be the area outside of Hans Bar in that alleyway where the monolith is. So you're going to be able to recover all the mana that you use here. So don't worry about a single thing in that respect. And the other thing that we're going to do after that is we're going to face another Ryu clone to earn the Armlet of Benediction. And then I'll be... I'm not going to be showing you how to use it, because all you need to do is equip it. But once you do acquire that, making money is going to be even faster. It's a faster process, because the Armlet of Benediction... and I apologize if it appears that I'm speaking down, or if it sounds that I'm speaking down to everybody, but I'm just trying to say things that occur to me. On the Armlet of Benediction, increases your yellow essence absorption, which in effect means that the money drops increase. So it's a good tool to use. Okay, so also make sure that you only have 1 Talisman of Rebirth at this point, because we're going to be facing some ogres, and you kind of get a little prize for beating them, although it's not a trial or a Fiend challenge per se. And then head on up these rungs here, and we're going to be leaving the sewer, and then when you emerge onto the street level, we're going to be facing a brand new enemy here. Although we have seen these guys a couple chapters back when we were doing Rachel, we were facing brutes. So these are the brutes, and they populate the area outside Han's bar. There are 2 sets of 3 of them that spawn. I'm getting some explosive arrows over here, by the way. And it's a great strategy. I've done several money-making tutorials on my other channel, Big Benedict 1111. But maybe I'll put an annotation link for that video. But it's essentially going to be the same thing, which I discussed in that video where I grinded for money. So here are where the ogres are, and bear with the loading screens. So pull this drawbridge down. It's yet again up, so we need to pull it down so we can cross this river and get on over to where the ogres are. I'm equipping the Unlabor Flawlessness to kill these guys. I really like the Unlabor Flawlessness's power technique that I discussed in the Caverns level. So it's just a great tool to use. And if you'll recall, the power technique for that weapon is performed by pressing up towards the enemies and then triangle at the same time. So that move right there that I'm doing. And then I'm just dodging and then just hitting. So it just takes a couple of hits and then absorb the essence and then get a UT on these guys, a red UT. And remember, don't hesitate to use magic because we're going to be refilling our magic. And then these guys have lost their masks, so when they turn red, they really do turn ugly. They really start getting ugly. See that attack right there? It's just brutal. So that move right there is essentially the same move they've been doing with when they're in their green form. It's just that they start going a little crazier in berserk mode. So you see the Talisman of Rebirth. I actually didn't take my own advice right there. I had also this area right here. This is the first time we're being able to access this area again. Before on the Tyron under alert chapter, there was a tank blocking this area, and we couldn't go over here. So now we can actually go over here, and this is a high potion. And I'm going to press the R3 button just to show you where this is in relation to the save point. It's right where the save point is by the Lily Key door. So it's been a chest that has been in our sights for quite a while, but we just couldn't get it. And we can never get it through this door either because it was locked on the other side. But now we unlocked it from the side that had the lock on it, so we can go through that door to take shortcuts if we ever need to. So there's going to be one brute down here. Normally they appear in there's a pack of brutes in 2. I'm not sure why this guy is an individual one. So I'm going to hit the save point, and you're going to notice right away that I'm going to have the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang equipped. That's just because I think it's the best weapon. Well, I don't know for sure, but it seems to work really well for me for grinding for money on these guys. So I'm just going to be killing these guys first, and then I'm going to be heading on into the Pleasure Street area where it's a great place to grind for money. So anytime from this point on to the very end of the game, even if you're on the final wave of bosses, you want to backtrack all the way over here. It does take a little while to backtrack, but it's well worth it. You can get up to $100,000 rather quickly, and you can even expedite this process that I'm going to be showing you once you get the Armlet of Benediction, which we're going to do next. But I first wanted to at least point this out. So in a moment, you're going to see them grab me. So just check this out right over here. They're going to grab me and throw me down the alley right over here. So you see that move right there? That's how I discovered this trick initially. It was a long time ago that I discovered this. They grabbed me and threw me down the alley, and then I turned around and I'm like, what the hell? They're not even running down the alley. So they stopped right where those right where the bricks start, where those little cobblestones are behind the line. See how they just like stand there? They will not cross the line. They won't go down the line. They can't hit you with their melee attacks. They can't hit you with their fireball attacks or anything. So you want to. I've just experienced that the UT with the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang works the best. So every single time, just head on into Han's Bar, exit Han's Bar, and then go back into the alleyway, and then just prepare your charge. Right now, I have the Armlet of Celerity equipped just to speed up the charge. But once I get the Armlet of Benediction, I'm going to be equipping that and then going back here to get all my money and then all my items that I need in preparation for the next segment of this chapter. So you see, they can't even touch me. They're just helpless. They're completely helpless. And this is one of the best places to grind for money, in my opinion. So I'm going to hit this save point. And, my bad, I forgot to mention. So even over here, there's this monolith that you can access. So don't even bother going to the store and trying to refill your health and mana. Because that's just going to be a waste of your money that you've been accumulating via the money grinding process. So this is not only is it a great place to grind for money, but you got that nice convenient monolith right there to refill your health and mana every single time, and you also have a nice convenient save point too to save your progress. So this is like the best place in my opinion. But you may have noticed that now I have the unlabored flawlessness equipped. That's because now we're going to be dealing with the third Ryu clone in this game. So when I said there was like a half a dozen of those, I was incorrect. It looks like there's about 4 of them in this game. I know there's one in the next chapter too, who has the unlabored flawlessness. So it can be kind of tricky to win that battle. But you could actually, I know you can Azuna drop with this weapon. And so do that move if you want to. Since I already had 2 talismans of rebirth, I pretty much resigned myself to the fact that I don't care if I waste 1 talisman of rebirth, because I still have that one back in the area. Do you recall a moment ago when I did the ogres and they dropped that talisman of rebirth reward, and then I couldn't pick it up? So now I used one, and then it stays on the map permanently. So just pick it up whenever you need it. But yet again, all I'm going to be doing is wall spamming. I don't like these enemies. I think they're extremely cheap, and I don't find any enjoyment in fighting them. So they give you the Armlet of Benediction, and like every really good item in this game, you have to earn it. So this is the process by which you have to earn the Armlet of Benediction. So this is as early in the game as you could possibly get that item. Yeah, it's a good weapon. It's a good accessory to have. It just would be nice if you could, equip the Armlet of Benediction with the Armlet of Celerity in tandem. I would really enjoy an armlet that allowed you to have 2 slots, or some kind of perk that that would allow you to have that. So check this out. I get a really good hit over here somewhere since I'm low on health. It's kind of hard to hit him, but you could, like, when you do get in a hit, you really feel it. You see that move right there, damaging him significantly. So whenever I am low on health, I kind of use a couple potions just to refill my health a little bit. Get the money from him. I think he gives you like $5,000, and then here is the Armlet of Benediction, and then I am going to head back and save it. But I did want to mention that I'm not going to be progressing personally until I have grinded for money. So what you're going to see me once I get to the checkpoint and save point and save it over there, you're going to see an edit. But during that edit, just take for granted the fact that I went back to Han's Bar where I was showing you where to grind for money, and I grinded for money until I got $100,000, and until I also got enough items, until I was satisfied that I had enough items at my disposal for the next area, because it's pretty tough. So definitely just go back and save it first. You could save it outside of Han's Bar if you want to, but do be aware that there's some enemies over there in your wake, just as there are 2 enemies in your wake over here prior to the save point. But so that's it for this segment, and then just go ahead and save it. Just deal with these 2 foes here, and then hit the save point. So hit that save point, and now we're actually following in Rachel's footsteps. So we are going to go back to the Hayabusa village via the teleportation device, which is over here. In Chapter 4, we got the lunar over here, so this is exactly where it is, where the lunar was. And so now that we have the 3 pieces, the 3 tablets, we can actually insert them in this this little device here, and it's going to take us to the Hayabusa Ninja Village. So, you know, Rachel was kidnapped, and now we are on her trail. It is really interesting that in the mission mode challenges, the Eternal Legend, you're actually saving her too. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, head on down here, and I was really surprised to find that there was no Fiend challenge on the bridge over there, but there's not. I seem to recall that there was, but there's not. So, a few chapters back, we were doing this exact fight here with Rachel, and I remarked how, you know, kind of boring it was. But now, since we're Ryu and we're faster and we have more moves and things like that, this is actually starting to be a lot funner. So, I'm getting hit quite a bit, but I'm mainly relying on counterattacks. We have the cutscene. I edited out when we a few moments ago we were in the graveyard and there was a cutscene. I'm not sure if you noticed the edit, but in that edit we got the true dragon sword. So it's essentially it's the dragon sword at level 4, and now we can start doing the true dragon gleam and moves like that. Anytime you want to see what new moves are available, just go to the move lists for the weapon, and it'll say like 4 next to the weapon, meaning that you could do this move now since it's on level 4. But this is remarkably easier of a fight than the Rachel phase of this fight. Plus, it's funner too. So I really enjoy this stage. I like backtracking. I also like playing this stage in Sigma 2. It's really interesting. You can also hit those targets if you want to. I do that all off camera, but I headed on over here and got some items. Oh, I also wanted to mention that earlier in this video guide, I left a Talisman of Rebirth where the ogres were, and where the nightmare was on the Rachel chapter with Gamoth. But I did go ahead and pick that up after defeating this Ryu clone. So this is the Jewel of the Demon Seal, and now we're going to go ahead and apply it to the final slot of the Art of the Ice Storm. So earlier in the game we were Rachel and we broke that that area with her Warhammer, but you don't need to have broken that that block to access this Jewel of the Demon Seal, because you can just use your own Dabalacro, or hell, even the Warhammer if you wanted to. So now, actually, we can go over here. See, we couldn't go over here as Rachel, it just didn't permit us to. But you notice I have the UF equipped, and that's because we have another one of these Fiend clones to deal with. And this particular Fiend clone, he wields the Vigorian Flail, and I didn't have much luck, consistent luck that is, dealing with this guy via the wall jumping method, where you just jump off the wall and slam him with the triangle button. So for a lot of this fight, I'm trying to do the Azuna drop. So you see all these combos I'm getting right here, like right over there. That's the Azuna drop that I'm trying to do. It's just that it's not connecting with him all the way, or he's evading and it's not connecting. I think I get at least like one Azuna drop in at some point, but this is actually a pretty tough battle. And in the next chapter, unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with another one of these guys, and it's the final one we're gonna be dealing with. So I think the count for these clones is 5. But this one's not that difficult as far as getting hit by him. He doesn't do as much damage as the other version of him did back in chapter 12. The main issue here that's hard is kind of like simply just hitting him. It's kind of harder than usual here. Spamming that is. That's what I mean with the wall jumps. That can be a little tougher. So right there, I got a lot of damage in with the, and I think I actually finish this guy off with the Azuna drop, or maybe part of the combo. I can't remember. Yeah, it was right there. So, yeah, that was a good win. So you're gonna get some portals appearing, but you do want to grab this right here. This is the Armlet of Fortune, and then equip the Dragon's Claw and Tiger's Fang. Because of these 4 treasure boxes in this area, 2 of them contain ghost fish. So they're the ones on this side over here. So there's only one school of fish per treasure box. So just do the square combo just press square 4 times, and then that will take care of every single fish in the box, and then just collect all the essence. And in these particular chests, we have Life of the Gods. So there's one here, and then there's one in this treasure chest. You could go in the portal where you see. Okay, watch what I do actually. Here I was just looking to see how many I had. Life of the Gods. I'm gonna go into this portal, which is going to make us progress. But I just wanted to mention that in between all these edits and things like that, I did go back and restock. Got up to 99999 money. So here's the boss, and there's a nice, really erotic scene with Rachel over here. So check out this ass on Rachel right here. Damn, I got to see that again. Wow, that's really incredible. That is a nice tight ass. it's really nice to look at that thing. So for everyone's viewing pleasure, I put that twice, and the second time in slow motion. So this is actually really erotic, and she's tied up, and you got this bitch with the nipple patches on her tits. So enough talking about sexual stuff. But wow, she is hot. And if you fire an arrow at her, she dies, by the way. But anyway, this is the awakened form of Alma, and she's a lot tougher than the first version of Alma. The only really good thing that I could think of is that the arena is a little bit bigger, but she's still very difficult to take down. And I believe, like, once again, I'm still bewildered at how to beat Alma, the awakened Alma and Nietzsche. I've heard many times that you're supposed to fly swallow this enemy, but it just never works enough. It works sometimes, but sometimes it's not enough. So I really started using Nimpo a lot, and you might even think, well, as you're watching this, you might be thinking that I'm spamming Nimpo, but the only reason I'm doing this is because I am trying to knock her down, and using the Nimpo, the Art of the Inferno, or the Art of the Inazuma, it works pretty well too. Using those Nimpos knocks her down with more success than does trying to get the Flying Swallow. So, you know, I'm probably going to have to do this on Nietzsche when I get to her, if I can even beat her. It's god-awful. It's made so poorly. They should allow you to fly swallow her more often, for God's sakes, because if you're trying to do the Azuna drop combo next to her, it's so easy for her to grab you. And so right there, when she's firing that energy ball at you, you want to be blocking and then dodge at the last moment. I only say block just because I like to have a firm stance on the ground when she's shooting at me, but you don't have to block. You just have to dodge at the last moment. It's a really fast projectile that you have to get used to. So I'm using the Art of the Inferno. It's on level 3. I'm trying to down her as much as I can. And the biggest problem is that once she does fall to the ground, you only get a couple of seconds to hit her, and then she's back on her feet again. So this is problematic. It's problematic that a boss is like this in the first place. A boss that gives you so little feedback as you're fighting her, and there's not enough information on this boss out there. So that grab is deadly right there. Just watch out for that, and just take care of these imps when they spawn. What else does she do? So she has a couple of grabs that you just need to avoid. I tried to she felt like a lot of the times you'll cast the Nimpo and then she'll fall like before you even start using the Nimpo, but you have already used it. So you have to wait until the entire animation is completed to run over and hit her. But by that time, she is long since got to her feet. So it's an irony that you have to compensate for. I wish I knew more about these bosses, to be honest. So there we go. I downed her with the Art of the Inferno, and I got in a couple of good hits. So that's pretty much what you should do, unless you want to try to fly swallow her. But fly swallowing her is just so unreliable that you're going to be really frustrated after about 10 seconds, or maybe a little bit. Not that quickly, but this works. This worked for me a lot better. This was the second try on Alma that it did. So the first time I just tested her out and I got killed really quickly, but this is the second attempt on this bitch, and I won. When I first did this guide a few months ago, it took me about maybe like a dozen tries to beat her, but I wasn't even doing this technique, and so that just goes to show you that this technique's pretty good. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree? You kill her in 2 tries. Yes, you are going to waste a lot of Nympho, but you can head back through those teleportation devices and go get more money. You're going to need more money anyway, and you need more items anyway, so just backtrack. And then you can backtrack anywhere you want after this. So I hope that's been helpful, and then the next stage is Chapter 17.